Hello, this is Mayor Marcia LeClaire with Conversations with the Mayor. This is a new broadcast that we're doing throughout town with the directors and with special events in town. And this is the second in a series that we'll be doing. Today with me is Sarah Morgan, our new library director here at the Raymond Library. And we're very excited to have Sarah here in a short time, the past 3 months. She's done an amazing amount of work. And Sarah actually replaces our former library director, Susan Hanson, who was with us through the renovation and conversion of the existing Raymond Library. So with that, Sarah, how is it stepping into a new library that was recently redone?
It's pretty terrific. So I am really excited to be here in East Hartford, where we have such a beautiful new library facility, and to be recording with you here in the Rare Books room. It is such a pleasure to be able to go out into the community, to meet the residents of East Hartford and get to know people and institutions, to really reach out and welcome the community into our new library, where we have a terrific staff and beautiful collections and some new programs and services on their way.
So why we have the opportunity, and we know we have a large audience that watches the local channel access station. Someone may have missed whatever was in the paper about your background, or even before, during the budget sessions when we asked each of the directors to talk about their background. So why don't you give us a little about your history and your background, and that we can take from that all of the great efforts and education and experience that you bring to this job.
Sure. I was born in Connecticut. Now I'm back in Connecticut, but I lived most of my life in central New York, outside the Syracuse area. Since moving to Connecticut, I've worked primarily in children's and youth services at a variety of local libraries. New Britain, I've worked in Cheshire, in Bloomfield, and Farmington. In my other adventures, in the course of my other adventures, I worked at a tiny rural library that was so small it was open very limited scheduled hours and when the flag was flying. And then a large suburban library in Detroit. So I have a really broad range of library experience, and I'm excited to draw from all of that experiences ideas to bring to East Hartford to respond to community needs.
You know, a few of the, probably the empty canvas that you were given to create, and the kind of the marching orders that not only we discussed about what projects you put in front of you, what initiatives you wanted to do. We talked basically about making the people and bringing the people back to the library.
Absolutely.
So I think it's really important for us to talk about the new library that we have, and the new direction that we have, and the new programming that we have. And I want to give you the opportunity to talk a little bit about what you brought and have expanded on in the library, as well as your vision for the future.
Sure.
And then let's talk a little bit about the numbers.
Okay.
And the goals that you have set up for yourself.
Sure. Sounds good. So I would like to reach out to your audience in this program with a personal invitation to come and visit me at the new library. I love to give tours. So if you're watching this broadcast and thinking maybe I should visit the library and take a look around. It's a good opportunity to update your library card, to choose materials to check out, to stop and browse our art shows, attend a program, or pick up a calendar, and take time to enjoy our beautiful renovated and expanded building. So in addition to our traditional services, in our shiny new facility, we also have expanded the technology opportunities that we have for residents here at the library, both in the more traditional ways, our public computers, but also in a makerspace that we're going to be growing over the next few months. And our services are responsive. So if you come in and you have a question, or you don't see what you're looking for on the shelf or in the building, talk to me about it. We really want to make the community part of the conversation about how our programs and services are moving forward. So I want feet in the door, people to come and see our new facility, and our programs and staff are really exciting and fresh and ready for residents
and re-energized.
And re-energized. Yeah, I think we're all happy to be in this beautiful facility and to be, after years of transition, in a place where we can really look forward to the future of greater community engagement.
So what you don't know is recently my granddaughter was visiting, and I sent her babysitter down with her to the library because she had a library card that she always had a library card in East Dartford. And I asked them to give me feedback about what they thought about the library.
Secret shoppers.
So this four-year-old had an amazing visit. Was really intrigued with the airplane. Took a few pictures pointing to the wall that said "Donated by Mayor Marcia Leclerc." And took advantage, loved the computers, the early learning computers.
So in our children's room, we have internet computers, but we also have these wonderful early learning stations that have educational games targeted to different age groups.
Was very intrigued by the large Pratt & Whitney J57 engine.
I know. That's an eye catcher.
In the children's section, really curious about that. And really loved the colors and the brightness and the runway atmosphere in the children's room, which mimics an airport runway. And brought home 3 books. And one of the books was my favorite, so I kept reading it over and over again. And it was about Max the taxi. But it was a lovely story, so she was really excited. So she'll be back in July, and we'll take another visit, and hopefully it'll align with some programming.
Yeah.
That would be very special. But we know that we want parents, we want to bring and engage their their children, because we know how important reading is for the educational goals and initiatives. And I know recently we've been trying to partner with the Board of Education, more specifically Nate Quinnell and his complete staff, and to talk about how we can support their initiative of teaching, learning, and encouraging reading.
We have always had a strong summer reading program here at the library, but this year, for the first time, we're really partnering closely with the schools, and Nate Quinnell has been an incredible supporter of summer reading at the library, because we all share the same goal of engaging children in the love of learning and reading, but also in particular during the summer months, the library is the perfect partner to help the schools prevent summer slide. And that's where children during that long summer break can actually lose learning, can without the support of books and reading, start the next school year actually having lost some skills from the end of the school year. So we're really a key partner with the schools in preventing that summer slide, and we're excited to market and promote the summer reading program together.
So that was really exciting to hear. We also want to find additional ways when children register for school that they're also automatically registered for a library card, so that they can come and visit this amazing space with their parents and to take advantage of all that we have to offer. I know recently we talked about changing the 3rd floor. I want to call it the 3rd floor. I don't know if it's really called the 3rd floor, but it's the mezzanine off of the 2nd floor. Over the children's room, over the youth room. There's another level. We talked basically about how making that a makerspace. It's taken a long time from opening the doors, well, relatively about a year, opening the doors to really starting to really shape the programming that's going to be within the library. And when you came, you have taken a few months, 3 months, and you have some ideas about reshaping the makerspace to be a broader, more functional, and enticing space for all ages.
Yes, we are really poised to deploy a wide range of technology to start up program series to make this technology available to the public. We already have several 3D printers that are available for public use, and once a month, Rebecca Levach in our reference department holds a program called Meet the MakerBot, in which she demonstrates the 3D printer, and participants can practice a little bit with Tinkercad, which is the web-based design program that works with our 3D printers, to produce a 3D printed object. So if you're listening and scratching your head about 3D printing, basically we have these machines, and they are loaded with filament that's made of like a plastic type material, and which is heated to a very high temperature and kind of, as my 6-year-old said, drizzled to create an object. So I'm holding up the East Hartford Library logo, which was created by Rebecca on our MakerBot. And first, the white platform was printed by the machine, and then slowly built up the elements of the logo. So the 3D printers are already operational, and we have seen just in this short time a real explosion of interest in 3D printing. So the participants in this monthly program have ranged from people who are really just curious, they heard about 3D printing, they want to see what it looks like, to designers and engineers and other community members who have related experience and are ready to jump in right away to print something. We do make printing available to the public. It's $1.50 an hour to print something out. But you can send us your design if you're someone at home already with something designed on Tinkercad or another program, and we can print it out for you here at the library.
That's wonderful. Now you have a wood piece there.
I do have a wood piece there. So the 3D printers are already operational here at the library, but we do have some other technology purchased with a grant from the Farmington Savings Bank that we are training on and figuring out how to best site in our building. You talked about that third floor space. The Creative Commons is a very flexible space in the library, and keep your eye on that space because it is going to house some of this technology in the near future. This wood version of our logo, you can see, is carved. Mm-hmm. The logo is carved into the wood with, it's called a Carvey, is the technology, and it's kind of like reverse 3D printing. You design something in a CAD type program that then is carved into wood using different kinds of drill bits. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So we have amazing, flexible, creative, talented staff here at the library, and they are really getting up to speed on this technology to be able to share it with community members.
You know what I love about this is that young children are not afraid of computers.
No, not at all. Right.
So they dive in and they figure it out. They're very, very, it's very intuitive for them.
Yeah.
So this is really almost like manufacturing now.
Absolutely.
So now they do additive manufacturing with metals, and they do it in the manner in which this 3D printer does. So when children or youth or adults are learning, they're really learning a manufacturing technique that on a different level, but certainly that is what manufacturing is going to. So
and I'll tell you, one common use of 3D printers in public library makerspaces is for entrepreneurs who are making prototypes of designs that they're shopping around. And in fact, in Farmington, where I most recently worked, 2 high school students in an engineering capstone program designed an innovative phone case that they printed out on a 3D printer as a prototype and shopped it around and sold it.
Wow.
It was really cool.
Wow. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
So I know recently also that you've been bringing different organizations in to have their meeting as a way to get people through the door, invited into the library to see the space. It is amazing to me how many people have not yet seen our library.
Yes.
Wherever I speak, I always end with, please take an opportunity to see your library and all that it has to offer. But you've done a great job of working with the different organizations, of which we have so many in the town, and making sure that they have access to the space. And I know that recently we talked about what was in place for having regular monthly meetings here for some of our nonprofit organizations, that is now changing. And we are working to make sure that everyone has access to regular, even if they need a regular monthly slot.
Absolutely. We have beautiful meeting rooms on the lower level of our new building, and I invite you, if you're part of an organization looking for a meeting space, to give us a call at the library to find out whether we might meet your needs. I would also say, for folks who show up for meetings here at the library, I invite you to walk up the stairs or take the elevator up a level to the library. We recently had someone here at a meeting who, looking for a restroom, I think, took the elevator up to the first level and walked out and said, oh my goodness, I had no idea this library was so terrific. And that day she had just come for a meeting, but she ended up renewing her library card and checking out some new materials and really being wowed by our collections and our staff. So if you're here for a meeting, take the extra moment to walk up the stairs or take the elevator up and get to know us and our building and our collections.
And libraries are so much more today than they ever
Absolutely.
offered. They used to offer books for loan. Nowadays, they're almost like a 360 mecca for ideas and innovation, communication,
Absolutely.
public information,
Yep.
Expanding one's mind in so many broad ways that I think that was the intent when we were planning the new library, was to break away the closed museum pieces and bring them out into the public so that
Yep.
people had the opportunity just by walking by to get a glimpse of the past, to get a glimpse of East Hartford's past, but also get a glimpse of what the future of a library will be. And as a librarian, that must be very exciting.
So I was
for
just
you.
going to say, I'm biased because I'm in the profession, but I think libraries are truly exciting places because they are this merger of the old and the new. And that's really true here at the East Hartford Library, where these museum collections have been incorporated into the new building right next to the makerspace. So right outside the doors here of the rare books room, we have a display of glass pieces from glass manufacturers in Connecticut from the late 18th century to the late 19th century. And they're really spectacular. And these are donations from Jerry Dauphinais, who most recently donated to us a West Willington pictorial flask made by the Willington Glass Company. He has a project where he's collecting pieces from each of these notable glass manufacturers. And I think we're only missing 2, which he's working to acquire to donate to us. So, you know, that's a really special collection that is on view here at the library for anyone to come in to learn more about that piece of our Connecticut history. And I'll tell you, I didn't know anything about early Connecticut glass manufacturers until I came to work here. And it's both visually striking and also interesting historically, and it's right next door to our makerspace. So, you know, it's the full range of experience.
Wow. And so I've just, you know, with the library, I was wondering if you've done any changing to the timing of the programs, because I know that there are young moms out there looking for some day programs, and what do we have for them?
Well, we are always experimenting with the best time for programs. There are no perfect times for programs. I have learned in my long career in youth services, but we have adjusted some of our times to see whether it might draw in a broader crowd or some new friends in the children's room. But we're also, we have weekend programs, and we're adding some evening programs for the summer to make sure that regardless of the work schedules or what other commitments a family is juggling, that we have opportunities for children and families at the library.
When we built built the addition and also remade the existing library, we received numerous donations. At the end of that renovation, we received a generous donation from Clerc Foundation, and recently they gave us an additional $12,000 for items for the library.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about that. So we received Lego Mindstorms kits as part of a grant from the Clerc Foundation a few years ago, and Sandy DeChico in our children's department and Rebecca LeVache in the adult department learned how to teach Lego Mindstorms, which is a robotics program. So they are really on the cutting edge. It's so exciting to work with staff who are so forward thinking. So we received this donation of classroom kits. So they are complete sets of the pieces necessary to build these Lego Mindstorms robots. So this is not just, you know, building a house out of Legos, but fully functional robots. And they come with curriculum. And so we've run a really successful programming series with the Lego Mindstorms robots. And so when the Clerc Foundation, which is now renamed the Clerc Legacy Foundation, is in the process of dissolving, they thought of us and sent this $12,000 donation, which will be used primarily to really get up and running and fully fund our makerspace.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
And really appreciative that the foundation continues.
Oh, we're
to
so
fund us.
we're so grateful that they continue to support us, and we were really excited for the Lego Mindstorms kit, and this additional donation just has so much possibility for growth in our services.
Yeah, I wouldn't want the time to go by without talking briefly about the very generous donation that we received from the Rotary Club, and that is the bookmobile, and how important that bookmobile was to us during the transition.
Absolutely.
And I kind of thought that maybe it was an opportunity for us to talk about what your goals and objectives for the utilization of the bookmobile are, and what I know additionally we talked about modifications to it to be more user-friendly.
To make it more functional. We love to go off-site and bring the services of the library to folks for whom transportation is an issue. So we currently have an outreach program running to housing authority sites, and hope over the summer to work together with parks to make sure that we can have library materials and services available on those remote locations.
Wonderful. Well, I know we're winding down on our time, and I want to say thank you very much, Sarah. I'm so excited for the work that you've done in such a short time. I know you have an amazing staff that supports you.
Absolutely.
I want to thank them as well. And to those that are watching, I encourage you to come down and meet Sarah and her staff, and to take advantage of everything that your library has to offer. And this is your library, and we're open to suggestions, and we hope that you'll take advantage of what is yours.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much. Now, I can't let this show end without putting in a plug for an upcoming program we have at the library. We received a generous donation from the East Hartford Garden Club to bring in a speaker. Marlo Shami will be here on Thursday, May 25th at 2 o'clock, and the program is going to begin in our meeting room. It's called Experience Nature as Healer, and she has a really engaging PowerPoint presentation about the healing power of nature and mindfulness activities that can be done in nature. And then the group will move out to our butterfly garden on the front lawn to do a meditation. So you can find out more about that on our website, but it's Thursday, May 25th, Experience Nature as Healer, sponsored by the Garden Club.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks.
Until next time, this is Mayor Marcia LeClaire with Conversations.